disrespect, but sadly, some people don't know the size of their feet.
Right.
So when you ask, they'll be like, I'm 42, 43, 44.
Yeah.
Nipa back,
Yeah,
three sizes.
three shoe sizes.
Homies, thug homies, yeah, they giving it up. No lie, yo lie, boy, we living it up. Taking chances while we dancing in the party for show. Slip my girl a 44 when she crept in the bag.
Hello, this is Young.Entrepreneurs.Speak, the show about young entrepreneurs and the stories behind the successful businesses that they are running. Now, it's said you can tell a lot about a person based on the shoes he or she wears. And today's guest is one who ensures that his clients wear the most dapper shoes and look extremely stylish. He is the brain behind Xavier brand of shoes, and his name is Nana Gyamfi. Hello, Nana, and welcome to Young.Entrepreneurs.Speak.
Thanks a lot for having me.
So let's understand a little bit about who Nana Gyamfi is. Tell us about Nana Gyamfi.
Nana Gyamfi is a native of Kwewon. I'm the last of 5 kids to Mr. and Mrs. Adonteng.
Okay.
I had my basic education at St. Teresa's School, close to North Kaneshi.
Yeah.
I then continued at Presbyterian Boys Secondary School, Presec, at Legon.
Another day.
Yep. And I had my university education at Central University, Mateko campus.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
see.
that's basically about it.
A Kwewu person. Now, history has it that Kwewu guys are known, to get into the business space, want to
Yeah.
make a lot of money,
Naturally, we are business-minded people.
So it's no surprise that you are in this field at all.
It's in our genes.
It's in your genes.
Yep.
Let's talk a bit more about your educational level. What did you study in Presec?
In Presec, I studied general arts.
General arts,
Yeah.
okay. And then in Central?
I offered management studies.
Okay, management studies. So when you were choosing the courses, going through life from secondary school to university, did you ever think that you'd be in the shoemaking business?
Yeah. I have the passion for fashion.
Yes.
It's innate. So I just studied management studies so I can learn more about business.
Okay.
Because management studies has to do with HRM, marketing, a little bit of everything concerning business.
Okay.
Yeah. So I offered management studies at Central.
I see. But at what point in your life did you know that, okay, I want to get into the space of making shoes for men? And like not just any shoes, but like fashionable, stylish shoes for males.
For me, okay, so right after school, it's never easy having to look for a job. So I said to myself, why don't I venture into fashion since I have the passion for it?
Okay.
Now, with that, I'll be able to create jobs for artisans.
Okay, you said it's not easy to get jobs or to
Yeah.
find jobs after school. So is that something you went through? Did you have to struggle to find jobs, hence you said, let me go ahead and do this? Or did you have a job straight out of school? Tell us about that.
It wasn't that easy. I applied for several jobs and they were like, they'll call me back. But after months, I had to come up with an idea and start a business of my own.
So what idea was that?
It had to be fashion related.
Okay.
And since I love shoes, I thought of making them.
Okay, I see.
Oh, Chafela, what you would Jenny be fair, what she underground, what you could take blip, what you be, what you feel, what you made of feel. Oh, I'm a grandma, can you look? Oh, what night, Remo, oh, Femila, big boy, me, Ginamo, oh, Tommy, oh, yeah, Nima Penash, there was she, young Cherry Legend, Masha, my baby, Papa for tiny, he will bump, Namo here, Maya, Nima Popo, Kanya more, big boy, your moiety, Mokuma, guy, Fanny, woman, here goes second, you will be chatting.
So do you do this on your own?
It's a whole team.
It's a whole team of how many people?
We're about 10.
Okay, I see.
We're about 10.
But the brain behind this is you. Okay, so how did you get the others to buy into it? Did you know them already? Are they friends from school? How did you meet them for them to, join you in this industry that you're in?
I sent out word on social media.
10 individuals,
Yeah.
you don't know yourselves from anywhere, you only met on social media. How did you decide on these 10 as the ones you want to work with?
Okay, so after getting close to 35 people, I gave them a task.
Okay.
Each has to design about 10 shoes.
Okay.
Yeah, and you have to provide or draw, stitching, sewing, anything that has to do with shoes.
Right.
So I picked out the top 10
The top 10.
out of the 35.
And these are the ones you're still working
These
with?
are the ones I'm
How long have you been doing this for?
close to three years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I see. What was the startup like
It was right after uni.
right after uni?
Yeah.
Was it difficult? Was it easy?
Getting accepted was difficult because there's this perception about locally manufactured products not being of good quality.
Okay.
Yeah, so coming into the market wasn't easy.
When you sold your first pair of shoes, do you remember who you sold it to? Let's start with
Okay, so the first pairs obviously was given to friends.
that. Okay.
Yeah, so I gave it out for free so that they'll market it.
Right.
And anyone that saw it was interested.
Right.
So then by referrals and word of mouth. Yeah.
Okay. So how did you break through, that whole perception that locally manufactured goods are not as good quality as those from overseas?
Well, it's still, the perception is still there. It does exist. But once they get to wear the shoe, gradually it changes.
Okay, so you are a fresh graduate from university, Central University, a degree in management studies. Then you did your national service at EcoBank.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so at what point in time between those two did you start making the shoes?
Getting to the 9th month,
Okay.
yeah, that's when I started making shoes
On national service?
on national service.
Oh, wow. It
Yeah.
means that you must have had some ready cash somewhere, or, someone
And
had given
basically,
you
I used part of my salary
okay,
to start out.
of your national service
Yeah.
salary. You must have been earning a lot of salary then as a national service personnel.
Not a lot.
But it was enough to
It was
save
enough,
and then
yeah, to
start
save
out.
and start.
So how did you come up with the name Xavier Esquire?
Okay, so after research, we got both words and we realized it will be good for the brand. So we
Okay.
put it together.
In terms of, what does Xavier mean in the first place?
Xavier, it defines my persona.
Okay.
It goes a lot deeper, but to keep it simple, it means splendid or bright.
So you would say you're a splendid person
I'm a splendid
or a
person.
bright person.
Bright
Really?
person. Yeah.
And then what about the Esquire?
The Esquire has to do with anything top-notch quality.
Okay.
Yeah. So we combined it together.
Okay. So this is Young.Entrepreneurs.Speak, and we're talking to Nana Gyamfi Adonteng, the brain behind Xavier brand of shoes. He's fresh out of uni, doing national service at EcoBank, and he decides in his 9th month that, I want to actually start doing something of my own. So why shoemaking? You say you have a passion for fashion. Why didn't you decide to go into clothing or some other venture and you chose shoes? And why did you choose to make those shoes yourself?
Okay, so I chose to make those shoes myself, first of all, to clear the perception about locally manufactured products not being of good quality. Yeah. And also shoes because we cannot walk barefooted.
Right.
Definitely, you need to wear shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I make shoes.
Okay. But why not buy and sell? Someone would say, oh, it's easier for me to import ready-made shoes and then sell them at a certain
That's
price
very
and make
true,
some money.
that's very true. But I want to have a feel of local.
Yes.
Yeah,
So in that case, are you saying that your shoe is 100% local?
it's 100% local.
Yes. Your materials are from here?
We get them from Italy.
Okay. But then assembly and everything is
It's
done
done
over
here.
here. Designing,
Yeah,
sewing.
yeah, stitching, everything is done in Ghana.
Okay. How long does it take you to make a pair of shoes, like one pair of
Pair of
shoes?
shoes, about 2 days. It takes about 2 days to get a shoe done.
And what's your range of shoes that you make?
From loafers to monk straps to boots to slippers, sandals, everything that has to do with shoes.
Okay, I
Yeah.
see. What's your best seller?
The best seller is the moccasins
And why do you
because
think
it's
that?
easy to go. It's an everyday wear. You just slip in and you're good to go.
I follow you on Instagram. I see you have loads of social media followers. How did you get this? Is this something someone must have before they can be successful in a venture in which they decide to, embark on?
There's a saying in our local dialect, your food, your pani piano. Once you get involved in something good, people will support you. So that's how come I have a lot of followers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aside social media, you don't advertise anywhere
No,
else?
just social media, Instagram. Yeah.
I'm interested in, your coming from, the youthful side, because you're doing national service, a regular 9 to 5. How did your folks take it, or people around you take it, when you said you wanted to get into a shoemaking business?
Well, initially, they weren't supportive. Yeah, because they wanted, most parents want their wards to get into a 9 to 5 because they know at the end of the month there will be a fixed salary. But with startup business, it's not easy to be accepted.
Right.
You know, the fear of failure and all. So they weren't supportive initially, but once sales started picking up, yeah, they got into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, it took sales for them to change their perception, or you also had to sort of convince them and say, Mom, Dad, if I do this, it's actually going to work.
No, it took the sales for them to change their
The money
perception.
had to be coming
The
in.
Yeah, yeah.
I see.
Charlie, Sebe, me okay?
Xavier, okay, if I've been made in Ghana product. I do Xavier. You don't know Xavier, they do shoe. Better shoe, no be colo shoe. Leather, papa. I got J1, you go see what I Xavier they wear. You see that the Xavier king. He with the shoe carpenter. Hey, shoemaker.
I am a carpenter.
He was shoemaker.
I'm paying for the pain, if you know what I'm saying. The highs for the low, and I've been in that basement. Every day we make money, all you do is...
Could you remember your very first pair of shoes that you made?
The very first are the loafers.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about the very, very first
The
pair,
very,
like that
very-
one.
Yeah,
And that went to who?
that went to my dad actually.
Really?
Because he didn't believe in me, so I had to do something to convince him.
Okay. And what was his feedback?
What was his feedback? He liked it.
Okay.
He liked it, yeah. And he started telling his friends about it, and they also bought into it.
Okay, I see. What about your second pair?
My second pair were boots. Yeah.
And
they
that
were-
went to who?
That went to Moogies of R2Bs.
And
Yeah,
what was his
and
feedback? What was that like, actually knowing that you made shoes and you're giving it to Moogies of R2Bs?
Okay, with Moogies actually was coming out with a brand, Meridian. Yeah, so we were using part of my shoes to start up his brand.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So he bought a whole lot and he used it for his brand.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then of course it was advertising for you. People
Advertising
saw
for me,
it
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
so you've mentioned Moogies. I see on your Instagram page you have some actors who've worn your shoes
Yeah.
and all. Who has come to you and has bought your pair of shoes and you feel like, wow, I never thought my shoes would get to this person. Who would that one person be?
Okay, it has to do with Moogies because he was the very first person, celebrity, to
Right.
approach me. Yeah, yeah. And he's been very helpful because he endorsed it on his pages.
Okay.
That's how come other people got to hear about me.
Do you deliver?
Yeah, depending on your location. we can
And
ship.
then are your shoes, do you make them wholesale or are they custom made? Do I have to put in an
Custom
order
made. It's custom made after you pre-order.
after I pre-order?
Yeah.
It cuts across all the
It
types
cuts
of
across
shoes.
all the designs.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see. On your page again, I keep talking about that because that's where you do most of your advertising. So how did you come up with those ideas? Some of them say, what colors would you match if you could choose colors to put in a shoe? Blue, black and brown, what would you like to have? Who comes up with those concepts?
The concepts, I choose the concepts, but basically we deal with black and brown because it matches with everything, it's universal. But if you have a particular color, you could request for it and we'll do it for you.
Okay,
Yeah,
I see.
regardless of the shoe.
Okay, I So you've been doing this for the past 3 years. Has it been a smooth journey throughout,
It's never been easy. There are a number of challenges, but I would like to outline two.
Okay.
The first has to do with the mindset of some people. You know, there's this perception about locally manufactured products not being of good quality. So whenever one wants to purchase, he or she is a bit skeptical.
Sure.
And also, no disrespect, but sadly, some people don't know the size of their feet.
Right.
So when you ask, they'll be like, I'm 42, 43, 44.
Yeah.
Nipa back on
Yeah,
three
three
sizes.
shoe sizes.
So it makes working a bit difficult.
And how do you overcome those challenges?
So the best thing is I have them come over.
Okay.
So I measure their feet and we take it from there.
The right size.
Yeah, the
okay.
right size.
And then the challenge in terms of perception and locally manufactured goods.
Yeah, it's the same thing with them coming over. Because some complain about pictures being edited and put on social media.
Right.
And when they purchase, it's not the same thing.
Right.
So the best thing is they come over, they confirm
We
if they are
actually see
okay
it.
with what they see before they purchase.
Okay. You talked about how you source your leather from Italy. Did you travel to Italy and go and choose your leather and say this is what I want? What was the process?
Okay, so I contacted people who are already in the business.
Okay.
And they gave me the links to how to get their materials and I followed up from there.
How did you get up and contact them? Did you know
Through
them
social
already?
media, no.
Okay.
I send them a direct message through social media.
Okay. So it seems like you use social media a lot.
Yeah, that's basically where I do everything.
Okay, I see. So is this all that you do, or do you have something else you're doing? Is this a full-time job?
It's full-time, but I also have a men's grooming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Hacho
Tell us
Barber-
about that.
Hacho Barber Shop, basically, we take care of anything that has to do with men's grooming, from shaving to trimming. Yeah,
You're really a businessman.
I'm from Kobe.
Okay, so then why that? So you're combining shoes and then men's grooming. How do the two marry each other?
Financially, you can't depend on single income. So yeah, it's another venture that fetches me capital to push the Xavier brand as well. Yeah.
I see. You said you were saving your national service.
Yeah, so this is what most people don't know about me. I'm an introvert, so most of the time you find me at home watching a movie instead of being out with friends.
Okay.
So I saved a little bit that I get, and through that I was able to buy machines for the
Okay.
business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that really enough? How much did you have to save to be able
it
to
wasn't
start?
really enough.
Okay.
My siblings supported.
Okay.
Yeah, so my first set of machines, my brother bought them for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
You've been lucky enough to have family support. So what about people who don't have the opportunity for siblings to assist them in their dreams? How
Well,
can they
you
go
still
about?
have to be persistent. Start small, but think big. And once you start, randomly, someone might see you doing it, and he might want to help you. Yeah.
Baby boy, you stay on my mind, fulfill my fantasy. I think about you all the time. I see you in my dreams.
So where do you see the Xavier brand in the very near future?
In the very near future, hopefully I want to cut across not just Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the world.
Oh, okay. So is it only in Ghana for now?
Only in Ghana for now.
And you only send to within Ghana, or you
Within-
export
We export.
to which country?
UK, America, yeah, a whole lot.
Okay. How did you get those requests?
Okay, most are from social media. Yeah, so if they want, they DM me, and then we take it from there.
Okay. And how do you get the shoes there to the people?
By DHL.
So if I want to come and buy a pair of shoes, how much do I need to have in my pocket?
You can have as low as 200 to 350 CDs.
200, 350
Yeah,
CDs.
sure.
Okay, I see. Have people told you whether that's an okay price, or do they think it's expensive? Do they think you have cut price too low?
For the masses, it's good. It's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's your target market for the shoes you make?
For all walks of life, but basically we're targeting male adults for now.
Is
Yeah.
it because we the female adults are too picky? Why don't you make female shoes?
Not really. The orders coming in more are from males. That's
Okay.
why.
Have you had any female orders?
Yeah, but just a few.
So what did you make in that instance?
Flats, female flats.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is this something that, based on that, is this something that you look at getting into, say, in the near future?
Yeah. But if the orders come, we'll do it for them.
Which means that the Xavier brand, you can make all types of shoes.
All types of shoes.
Talking to you, I can see that you're a very determined young man. You know, you want to do something on your own. You want to start something for yourself. What drives that passion? Like, what really motivates you to get up every single day and then do what you do?
The fear of failure, not being accepted by society. You have to be accepted, you have to be recognized by doing something meaningful. Yeah, so that's how come I came with the idea of doing shoes.
Okay.
Yeah, and also it's a way of providing something meaningful to society.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you give back? You keep talking about society and trying to make an impact. What do you give back?
We are associated to a charity group, We Care and Hope Daily GH. So every year we give out to charity.
Is that also an initiative that you came up with?
Yeah, with a few of my friends.
The 10 people you work with, or that's
No,
outside
no.
outside
Other
this?
entrepreneurs. It's a way of showing gratitude
Yeah.
and also giving to some people who don't really have, at least touch their lives, put a smile on their faces.
So have you done that before?
Yeah. For the past 3 years. Yeah, we've been giving back to the charity people every year, at the end of every year.
Which one has been the most fulfilling?
The recent one, at Echoing Hills, Medina.
Oh, tell us about that. What was that about?
It was basically giving back to the less privileged and the orphans.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you give back?
For my brand, we gave shoes. Another brand, Royalty by Nanase, he gave clothes. And other people came with provisions, drinks, food, other stuff. Yeah.
Life is like a big merry-go-round. You're up and then down, going in circles, trying to get to where you are. Everybody's been counting you out, but where are they now? Sitting in the same old place, just faces in the crowd. But we all make mistakes. You might fall on your face, but you gotta get up. I'd rather stand tall than live on my knees, 'cause I am a
There are loads of, or quite a number of young entrepreneurs who are also making shoes in Ghana. So how do you ensure that the Xavier brand stands out from the others?
Well, we put in a lot of work that's making it quality. And every design, we think through it. So it's unique to our brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you say you think through, how do you mean?
Okay, so basically, we look at what's in trend.
Okay.
And then we work on it.
Okay.
And produce it to the market.
Okay, so you're doing loafers. I see person B doing loafers.
Yeah.
What will be different on yours that's not on his?
The material.
Okay.
We use top-notch materials compared to what others are doing.
But style can be the same.
Style can be the same.
Okay. So what advice would you have for someone who's watching you right now, who also wants to start a business of their own, not necessarily a shoemaking business, but wants to get into entrepreneurship? What advice would you say to someone like that?
For starters, you should have a plan. Yeah, it's never easy, but you should start small, think big, be persistent. It's never easy, but anything is possible only if you put your mind to it. Yeah, and you only live once, so believe in yourself and do more of what makes you happy.
If a viewer wanted to buy a pair of your shoes, how do we get it?
Okay, so you can follow our page on Instagram at Team Xavier, and my personal page is at Xavier_Esquire. And you can call or text our hotline +233 0243 82 76 79.
Okay. See, what would you say you have achieved this 3-year journey of Xavier brand of shoes?
I wouldn't rate myself to be successful. I still think there's a lot more to be achieved.
Why is that?
Yeah. So success isn't final. Yeah, it's a process, a continuous process. So I still think there's a lot more to be achieved. Yeah.
So at what point will you say I'm actually there?
When Donald Trump is wearing my shoes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I see. I'm sure he'll be watching this one day and say, oh, I want those pair of shoes, from Xavier brand of shoes. Nana Gyamfi Adonteng, thank you so much for being a guest on Young.Entrepreneurs.Speak. We've been talking to Nana Gyamfi. He's the brain behind the brand Xavier Esquire. So next time you see a gentleman walking around with some dapper-looking shoes on his feet, ask him if they're from Xavier. If he says no, tell him that he needs to go get a pair, because you've heard the story right here, and I hope you've been inspired. I'll catch you on the next episode of Young Entrepreneurs Speak. My name is Nefa. See you next time. Bye.